What's going on, guys? It's your favorite anime watching algebra teacher, Mr. Mac here, for another quick review, and today we're going to take a look at how to multiply binomials. Alright, so let's fix these screens up and we'll jump right in. Alright, there we go. So, quick reminder, what is a binomial? So a binomial is an expression that just has two terms. So let me give you an easy example here, x plus 4. Right? So there's a binomial. So what if we multiply two of these together? So let's say I have that, and then I have x plus 6. So now I have two binomials together, and I know I need to multiply because they are listed next to each other and there's nothing in between the parentheses, so that tells me it's a multiplication problem. So here is the easiest way to do this. We call this the box method. I call it the grid method. What you do is you draw a grid that is 2 by 2. So I have 2 columns and 2 rows. And what we do is we take the first binomial, x plus 4. I'm going to put the x above this column here. And I'm going to put the plus 4 above this column here. Then I'm going to take my second binomial, x plus 6. I'm going to put the x in this row right here and the plus 6 in this row right here. Now I'm going to fill in these 4 boxes by multiplying. So let's do x times x. So what is x times x? Well, that's x squared, right? Anytime a number or a variable is multiplied times itself, that is to the second power or squared. Then I go to the next box. I have positive 4 times x. Well, 4 times x is just 4x. Then this box here is 6 times x, which is 6x. And then last, 4 times 6 is regular 24. So my answer is right there. Now I just have to write it out in order. So we'll start with our first term here, x squared. Then I have positive 4x. Then I have positive 6x, and then last is positive 24. So I'm almost done, not quite. I have one cleanup step that I have to do, which is combine like terms. So I'm going to look here in my final answer and see, are there any terms that are the same that I can kind of combine, put them in one group? And of course there are. I have x's here, and I have x's here. So I can go ahead and put those into one pile, right? It's here. So positive 4x and positive 6x, combine those two like terms, and that gives me positive, of course, 4 plus 6 is just 10. So positive 10x by just combining those like terms. And then the 24 just stays 24, right? So that is going to be my final answer. Let's take a look at another problem. Let's go with 2x plus 2, and we'll say 3x minus 3. All right, let's do the same thing. We're just going to make a grid that is 2 by 2, and on top we're going to put our first binomial, so 2x above this column, and then the positive 2 above this column. And then the second binomial is going to go in these rows. So 3x and then negative 3. Now we just fill it in, multiply and fill it in. So 3x times 2x. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, right? You just start with the numbers. And then x times x, we already said, is x squared. Let's go to this box. 2 times 3x. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. And x just stays x. Easy enough. This here, I've got 2x minus 3. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, and x just stays x. And then last, 2 times negative 3 with no x's is just negative 6. So I got a lot of 6's in there for my answer. So let's go ahead and bring it down. So put these in order. My biggest term here, 6x squared. I have plus 6x here, I have minus 6x here, and then I have just minus regular 6, regular numbers. So Almost done. The last thing I need to do is combine like terms. Well, notice here, guys, that I have x's here and x's here. I have positive 6 and negative 6. So combining means to add. So if I add these two together, 6 plus negative 6, which is the same as 6 minus 6, that's 0. So these cancel each other out when I combine them. So my final answer is going to be, get rid of those, and it's just going to be this 6x squared and this minus 6, because these guys here canceled out. Okay, let's do one more. Let's go with 5x plus 4 times, we'll just say x minus 2. Okay, draw your grid. 2 by 2, so you're going to have 4 boxes. On the outside, put the first binomial, 5x, positive 4 here. The second binomial goes in these columns, x here, negative 2 here. And now we just fill in the boxes. So 5x times x. Well, 5 times 1, remember, if there is nothing in front of the variable, there's an understood 1 there, right? So 5 times 1 is just 5, and x times x is x squared. 4 times x is just 4x. 5x times negative 2 is negative 10x, because 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, and x just stays x. And then negative 2 times 4 is just negative 8 regular numbers. So let's write out our answer here. So I've got 5x squared as my first term. 4x plus 4x. Negative 10x, negative 10x, and then finally minus 8, just regular numbers. So what can I combine? These two groups of x's, 4x and minus 10. So 4 plus negative 10 is going to be negative 6. So this just becomes negative 6x, and then I'll move my 8 over, and that's my final answer. Okay, so guys, that's pretty much it. Real simple. Using the grid and filling it in becomes very easy. Here's a little tip, little shortcut tip for you. The last step that we did was combining like terms. So let me show you that once you do your grid, the only terms that need to be combined are these two. The regular x's, or whatever variable the problem is. If we used x here, it could be a or q or v, whatever the variable is. These two here in the corner, you're going to have just plain old variables, x and x. So you're always going to combine these two. This x squared is always going to be by itself. You're never going to have to combine it with anything. And this down here, regular numbers, you're never going to have to combine it with anything anyway. Either. There's no other regular numbers. So the 5x x squared stays 5x squared. The regular x's you combine, or whatever variable they have. Here we used x. And then last, the regular numbers you're not going to have to combine with anything. So just these two in this corner here are the only time that you're going to combine two like terms for your final answer. All right, guys, so that's it for multiplying binomials. Pretty simple. I hope you guys understood that. Please keep up the good work. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next time for another quick review.